Cyborg USA, Cyborg USA. They got the skills to pay the bills and help the president along the way. Cyborg USA, Cyborg USA. They got street smarts and lots of hearts, and they made it robotic ways. They all died in a train crash, and their bodies were torn apart. Resurrected by Hunter Rick. Now they are a brand new start. Yeah, Cyborg USA. Cyborg USA. They got the skills to pay the bills. They do our will designed to kill. And they made it good. USA, USA, USA. If it's Sunday and you're listening to the Cyborg USA theme song, you know you've got your set tuned to the Splendopia Hour live. It's the hottest 60 minutes of programming today, dedicated to all things on the independent comic book scene. We've got two amazing guests for you today. First off, we're going to speak with Aaron Calameri to tell us about Cybershock and his most recent project, More Lethal. Then we'll be discussing things with Anthony Figaro, who's going to tell us all about God's Hand. Me, I'm Anton. Belvedere is the name. Effing up MFers is my game. But now let me send it to the host of our show, the guy who puts his nose to the trail and sniffs out all the comic book news you've got to hear. Here he is. He's one bad mother, Robert C. Cacy. Bring him out.
Hey, Anton. Hey, welcome back.
Hey, how are you, bud?
Good, man. Thanks for having me back. Thanks for being back with me.
You know, I watched Dolomite this weekend.
Oh, yeah, I love Dolomite.
I was feeling the shaft. Dolomite, you know, Dolomite's my name. Mm-hmm. You know, I have to PG for the kids.
Are we getting, it seems like we're getting a kind of a rough transmission.
Are we for me?
I'm wondering.
For my transmission?
For me a little bit. My transmission. Well,
I look pretty good.
Okay.
I look pretty good.
You look
great.
As usual. Yeah, you look great. I put on quarantine 15. I am not looking that great.
No, you look great. I mean, I love the do-rag, and then you pull that down into your mask there. Mm-hmm. Is that what you got to get going? A lot of exciting things happening in the comic book world today, Rob. A lot of new news hitting. Did you see?
Oh,
sexual news? The sexual news? Are we allowed to discuss this? This is a children's family show.
Yeah, well, some guy, some villain, a YouTube villain had his former Pornhub erotic videos unearthed today.
Oh no!
Twitter and some of the other programs are having a heyday with it. So
Twitter is a flutter.
If anybody shows up in our comments, that's probably what they're talking about.
It's going to be I'm sure that our guest today will maybe have some interesting comments on it too. But I am very excited to speak with our guest today as well.
Well, we're going to try to focus on some books and see if we can sell some books or get these guys some interest in their projects.
But you know how we like to do it on the Splendopia Hour Live, Rob. We call out hypocrisy.
So we're gonna bring on. We're gonna bring on Aaron. Of More Lethal. That's the project that we just popped up over here.
Very special guest. Let me play him out. Got a very special guest today, everybody.
Okay, great.
Aaron Calameri. He's already had one great project with Cybershock, but today he's going to tell us all about More Lethal. Here he is, everybody. Aaron Calameri.
What's up, homie?
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you, Anton, for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Introduction. Aaron, nice to meet you.
Piano to go unused. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's right. We have the piano, we need to use the piano.
Mm-hmm.
It's an important part of the show.
Yeah.
Aaron, how's it going? What's up, man?
I'm doing good, guys. I think my connection's a little spotty.
Okay. Are you having trouble hearing us, or are we just popping in and out?
It's a little laggy, but it's probably my internet.
Okay.
You're coming across clear to us.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
That's good.
Here's I'll bring up your project on over here, More Lethal. You just fulfilled Cybershock, and I know a lot of people are happy about that. I think you probably sold the last issues of that. It sounded like you were selling the last few.
I still have some more. I actually just counted and I forgot the number, but I think I got less than 20 left, but I have some left.
Okay.
So
Great.
if people want Cybershock, the campaign is closed out, but you can just DM me like on Twitter or get a hold of me, however, and I'll sell them over PayPal. That once those are gone, they're gone because I promised only 122 covers. So I promised that on the Indiegogo. So once those covers are gone, they're gone.
Cool. So
Okay, yeah, it looks great.
there's still a few more of those.
Gorgeous.
I'm gonna scroll down more lethal if you want to talk about that. But one of the things that like got me about this project is like you put together like a real superstar squad of like Comicsgate artists that I really like on this one. So congratulations. Starting with the cover, I guess that's Joe Ball on the cover, right? Let's see. I'm gonna kind of scroll down.
Yeah, great cover. What were you saying? What were you saying, Rob? Joe Ball is the artist that did that cover.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Me and Joe are really close. He's a good friend of mine. He's a really awesome artist.
And the inside is done by Canales, by Canales, who is a Spanish artist who's like really well known for doing a lot of projects.
Mm-hmm.
I have. Let me see if I get how hard this is for me to do.
Rob, that Spanish artist we've seen before, right?
I'm not sure.
In some other projects, or no?
Oh yeah, well he's the artist for Iron Sights.
Okay.
Has he been in one that we've promoted? Is that what you mean?
I think so. Maybe.
I can't remember what all we promoted already, even though it's only been a couple. A couple issues. So.
He's worked on Necromancer, Tombstone Blues.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's worked on SOS. He's worked on Abductables.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, great. I mean, great work. He did great work in your book.
Well, he also
has his own comic book too called Decimators. It was a web comic, and then he got with a publisher, and they're publishing it as like putting the strips together into comic form.
Nice. And it is all in black and white.
Actually there's two stories in one book. It's a 32-page book.
Okay.
And the first 15 pages are by Canales, and that's the first story. And the second story is by PK Fry, who PK he's drawing grayscale right now. And I think he worked on Dusty Tortillas, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, we talked to Grayscale
right
a couple weeks ago.
So
that's PK.
This image right here is by PK. I just put it up today.
What I was looking for before is Canales did like an image of Cyborg USA for Drawn and Backhold, and I've got it on my computer.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out how to load it up, but I couldn't make it work. So that was that little hiccup. But this project looks really cool, man. Tell us about the perks, I guess.
Well, right now there's only 2 perks. You can get the book and the trading card. The trading card is by Carla Tornielli from Grim Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get the book and the trading card for $5 plus shipping. Shipping is $5 in the United States. It's $10 worldwide. And the other perk is to just get 2 copies, and the shipping charge stays the same. So it's really affordable. It's going to be a cool comic. It's going to be black and white. It's going to be roughly manga sized, but it's going to be 32 pages. There's going to be lots of violence in the book.
Aaron, what's manga sized? mean?
Oh, it's like mangas are usually smaller than American comics. So it's
Okay.
going to be like a digest size, like probably about 5.5 by 7 3/4.
Okay. Like an Archie comic book.
Yeah, in that vein. Like I don't know the exact dimensions of
Right.
those.
Yeah, they're like smaller bookshelf kind of.
Yeah, just smaller kind of
Yeah,
books.
it'll
Right.
still be like it's still going to be very readable.
Yeah.
It's just I wanted to try that because the artists were very pressed for time, and I said, hey, you
Mhm.
guys can draw on smaller paper this way because you can still shrink it down, and so it won't lose any detail, and you guys can actually maybe have less of a workload that way. And also,
Mhm.
it might, since I'm only charging $5 for the book, it might help me on the printing cost a little bit too. So I decided to try the digest manga size for it, and it kind of has that like style to it, like if by Canalis has like a very like European style, but also it's kind of got that like crazy like manga like weird wild action. So I
Yeah.
thought it would kind of fit the story.
Yeah, it seems like
Yeah,
super kind of hyper violent and fun like that.
How did you
it
come
just
up with
kind
the
of
story?
became
Yeah.
that way. Like
Right.
most of my stuff is really action oriented and violent, but this one just became super violent. um
Well, it plays
so
it plays into the title.
yeah. The reason it's
Great point,
called
Rob.
More Lethal is because as the character's name is Akane, and she is a blade girl, and blade girls are these synthetic warriors. They're these synthetic swordswomen, and it's called More Lethal because the more they fight, the more they level up their skills, almost like a video game character.
Mm-hmm.
And they can unlock perks and special abilities through combat. So that's why it's called More Lethal.
Okay, because the more lethal you are, the more lethal you become.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're gonna bring the our other guest in to talk about his book too, Aaron. I hope you can stick around while we continue to chat. Anton, do you want to introduce him when I get the screen set up?
Sure, if he's here. We've got.
Yep.
Oh, that's a little too slow. We don't like that one. I got to bring out something better for our new friend. Here we go. I think. Yeah, here we go. That works. All right, gang. We got a second guest today. We're also going to be speaking with Anthony Figaro to tell us all about God's Hand, New Orleans supernatural thriller. Here he is. There he is.
How y'all doing today?
Good, Anthony.
Good,
how are you?
I like the groovy intro, Anton. It was nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Anton's
earned
his keep
on
this.
New Orleans.
So Anthony, I don't know very much about you. I've seen you promote your project on some other streams and stuff. Just curious to get to know you and get to know your project. Looks like it's doing really well, and how we can help you spread the word, I guess.
Yes, what would you like me to do? Tell you about the book? Tell you about myself? I'm a whore for either one, so you just give me some direction. Give me some direction.
What do you think, Anton? What do you want to hear first? Anton,
I think we should watch the video first.
Oh, okay. All right.
That tells us that'll tell us about the project, and then I've got the feeling because I've watched the video, we're gonna want to talk to the guy who made the video.
Well, I'm gonna
Good call, Anton. Good call.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to fix.
And I also do that because it makes keeps Rob on his toes.
Yeah. I forgot to do the sound because I didn't.
How quickly you can play a video.
Yeah. Here we go. I got to back up again. All right.
Yeah,
now we're in business. How are we liking that?
At nightfall, a string of murders in New Orleans had been uncovered. These aren't your typical acts of violence. The victims bear an unknown supernatural mark. When the city's protector, Marie Laveau, is found murdered, a collective team of reformed sinners with supernatural powers by the immortal Jean Lafitte are called in to solve the case. As they delve deeper into Marie's death, they begin to suspect the rise of the Black Queen, an entity that has been asleep for centuries. Now awakened, her evil threatens to free the ancient gods of chaos and cover the world in a cloak of darkness. I smell human. As her minions crawl out of the shadows and threaten to unleash horror upon the city, only Jean Lafitte and his team of hunters stand between the darkness and the total destruction of the city. All help now rests in a team simply known as God's Hand.
Beautiful.
You guys met Anthony
You
Figaro.
can cut.
and I
You can cut it there if you.
This idea
Sure
was
thing.
created by
Sure thing.
talent.
Give me a sec.
I was asked if I could create a story that was uniquely New Orleans.
That is such a. I'm so interested. I mean, like New Orleans voodoo and the supernatural has such a great history. To be able to pull that into a comic book, I think is fantastic.
Yeah, New Orleans is. There's. I was telling somebody this the other day. You talk about it a lot. And you forget who you tell, but it's. You don't pay attention to it because when you're raised here, it's normal. But like it's not until you talk to other people and you go to different places and stuff. But like supernatural, just voodoo, like that it's so normal to us. It's born into us. Like it's a part of our culture here. You know what I'm saying? We got above ground cemeteries, vampires. We got haunted tours, and then just the history of the city itself. You know what I mean? I mean, it's filled with all of that stuff. And so when someone asked me about it, creating a story about New Orleans, it was like, okay, yeah, man. And so you start putting together. It's like it's easy. I mean, it really is. It makes itself really easy because you got all these characters in here. Jean Lafitte, for example. It's like, and again, it's one of these weird things. I was talking to Preston Acevedo this morning. Both of him and I are from Louisiana, and so you forget, I take for granted that Jean Lafitte, everybody knows who Jean Lafitte is. You know what I mean? Because where I'm from, you got the Jean Lafitte State Park. You got his ballroom, which is still on Bourbon Street. I mean, you got all these things, and so it's a natural part. But then I forget that people don't know he was an actual pirate who fought with Andrew Jackson in the Battle of New Orleans in the War of 1812. And that he was the real deal. And then you have, which everybody kind of knows about, Marie Laveau. They know the legend of Marie Laveau. And so you take these two characters and you kind of say, well, what can I do with this? What can I do with this whole thing? With the spirituality, with the supernatural, with, all these different things. And how can I put a spin on it and make it kind of cool? And I usually tell people it's kind of like a mix between, I guess, like if you mixed Angel Heart, Constantine, and Hellboy together and kind of, and then set it in New Orleans. You know what I mean? And then took real New Orleans characters, real New Orleans people, and put them in this situation. And so, and then I mix in a little bit of Lovecraft too, but it's kind of already there when you do the. And so it sets up this tone, and it's an interesting story. But that's kind of how it came about. The story of God's Hand.
Yeah. I had no idea the movie Angel Heart even existed until about 12 hours ago.
Did you really, man? Did you watch? You watched it or what?
I'm watching it today. I'm watching it today, and I had no idea. Man. Yeah, we were. A buddy of mine was like, "Oh yeah, we've got to watch Angel Heart," and I've never even heard of this. And De Niro, Mickey Rourke.
This is when Mickey Rourke was in his prime, bro. This is
right?
Mickey Rourke was in his prime.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Mickey Rourke in that preview, and you're like, how has this guy looked like four completely different, distinct people? Like Mickey Rourke.
When he was in it, this is when he looked like Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
Right. Before the wrestler. But so that's on my list. I had no idea, and especially now,
great movie,
Anthony, that you mentioned it. Now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, it's a great movie, man.
Yeah. Well, it looks gorgeous.
Let's talk about some of these tiers, like what you're offering on these projects, the perks here.
Gotcha.
So the book. Oh, that's I double clicked it. It looks like you got
I
the
gotta look up.
T-shirt.
I gotta look up Jean Lafitte too. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know
That's
it's
a
pirate either. Yeah, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I don't know.
It's cool, man. He has his like he had a place on he used to operate out of on Bourbon Street called Gene
Mhm.
Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop, and
Mhm.
so it's still there today. It's it's I think the oldest standing bar room that is actually still in operation. Like you can still go in there and order a drink and shit, and sit down and drink in the same building. It's the same, you know what I mean? It's a trip.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I saw this perk. This is amazing to me that you've got the creator control perk.
Yeah, that's so we all the merchandise is right there, which is cool. The merchandise and it's more books and it's more bookmarks, but Indiegogo limits you to 10. So I couldn't put any more, so that's what I'm stuck at. But it's a few more merchandise perks. But the real heart of that is that and I think it's still on because I didn't see him pull it.
Okay.
But I do Wizard World New Orleans every year. And so part of that is if you can make it down here, what we'll do is we'll have you come into the show and come in and sit behind the table with me and then kind of experience what it's like to be on the convention side of the whole experience. And then after that, we're gonna go have a drink in Jean Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop. We're gonna go have a few drinks in there, and then after that, we're gonna sit down and do go over books 2 and 3 and kind of just show how your plot points and character development and allow somebody to come in and develop their own character and play and put them into the story.
Nice. Well, that's cool. I mean, that's definitely
so that's at the heart of it.
So I love that character. I love that cover. That Andy Kuhn. That's that Andy Kuhn cover.
Yeah, man, he did a really good job. So that character right there with the smoking the cigar, that's actually that's a real character called Baron Samedi from Voodoo Cultures. Well, he's been in so many different things.
Yeah,
he's part of Voodoo Culture. So what I took that character and just made Samedi one of his identities. That his true identity is the King of the Dead. You know, and he's basically oversees the underworld.
I know him from Live and Let Die. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Say again.
I say I know him from James Bond, Live and Let Die.
Live and Let. There you go. There you go. It's been in everything. He's the main character in The Frog and the Princess from Disney.
Princess and the Frog.
Dude. I was told, which I don't remember seeing it, but Shadow Man from the 90s apparently was based on that, which I don't know. I was there in the 90s. I just don't remember that. I don't remember that book, man. You know. But the Andy Kuhn cover is Jean Lafitte, and then the main protagonist and antagonist in the story, which is what we call a griever, which is it's an ancient race that has the ability to reap souls and whatnot, and that's the main baddie for the first book. And Andy did a great job. Did an awesome job on that cover.
Yeah, very cool. Art looks great.
Yeah, everything else I did, Andy did the variant cover for us.
Because you're an artist yourself too, right, Anthony?
Yeah, now I drew that one. If you go down, you'll see the Andy cover. Yeah,
right.
I drew any of this stuff. Anything other than that, I drew.
Oh,
the book, all this. Yeah, the Andy covers the black and white one.
Yeah,
I think it's down under the regular standard cover. I think it's under that one.
Right here, right this one.
That's it, right there. Yeah. That's
so
the Andy cover.
I was confused on the perks. Like with the perks, you always get the Indiegogo cover, except there's the one perk where you get both covers, the standard cover and that cover, right? Or is there?
Correct. Okay. So this cover right here is basically an optional cover. The Indiegogo exclusive cover is the charcoal black and white cover. That's the one that after that you can only get through Indiegogo. After Indiegogo, that cover is no longer good. The colored one is the standard version. The one that we got from Andy is basically a variant cover that we got. And those are the trading cards. Those trading cards got unlocked for 12,000. So everybody will get those. Those are limited edition. They'll be signed and numbered. We will, when we get a final number on how many people get it, we'll put a lock on them.
Cool.
This project looks great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that you. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask about the coloring, right? Or do you do your own coloring too?
No, I had a no, and unfortunately, I had to switch colorists when I decided to join the Comicsgate family. And my colorist, you know, and it was amicable. It really was. And I have to respect his decision. You know, it's my decision to move in one direction, and his decision not to, and that's okay. We got a great guy to fill in. Match styles almost perfectly, so no problem at all with that.
Yeah,
cool, very cool.
And is this this isn't your first project, is it?
Okay, this is the first one that I've ever run. I was a part of a project in the end of 2016 called the Chronicles of Count Carlos, which is actually one of the add-ons you can get in the perk packages. We crowdfunded that, like I said, I think it was the end of 2017 because we premiered it at the Wizard World, which was in January of 2017. But I didn't run that campaign. I basically was the artist on that book, but this is the first campaign that I'm actually running.
Okay. Well,
it's been a hell of an experience,
right? Yeah, it seems like it's very successful. It seems like it's very successful for a first campaign, right? I mean,
so far, and a lot of good people, man. A lot of good people out there, you know, who supported it and whatnot. And that's you know, that's what you look for. You look for people who are good fans, bro, who are willing to reach out and give it a shot. We've added something, which we've added at the end. We added what's called lanyard packs. Lanyard packs in New Orleans, like lanyard is a word. It means extra, right? So we made these little extra packs. So at the end, we're gonna figure out how far we go, depending on how many stretch goals we unlock and whatnot. But we're gonna probably throw some extras in there, some extra lanyard, maybe some beads, some doubloons, different things from New Orleans and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, it's nice when you have the flavor of that place like that. That's like
what I'm saying.
A real selling point to it, and definitely grows interest in it. It seems like really cool take on it. So, good to meet you. Good to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I appreciate it. It's guys like y'all who are bringing me on and making me feel welcome at Comicsgate and helping me meet the fans and stuff like this. So I appreciate you guys bringing me on and allowing me to sell my wares. You know.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. Anton has a couple questions he likes to ask creators. Do you want to take a stab at it, Anton? These two guys.
I do. You know, so it especially you look. We've got some 80s cartoon fans. I can tell. Some guys. A lot of different comic book characters have come in and out of your life through cartoons, through movies, through your own books. Who's your least favorite comic book character?
Fuck. You want to go first, Aaron, or you want me to go first?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of them I don't like, but I can't think of them right now.
Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl?
Yeah.
People get Squirrel Girl is popular.
White Lily.
That's a good one too.
That's great. I don't know either of these people.
Well,
oh my goodness, you're better off. Right you have a better off life.
Yeah, Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl used to be like a really cool Marvel character, but they sort of ruined her. The White Lily. I think those White Lily comics probably are going up in value today.
They might.
I'm not sure.
They might.
Oh, is that our guy, the News of the Day guy?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's his World War II fighter pilot.
I don't even know if it's good. I just threw it out there because of him. I have a lot of characters I don't like, but I can't think of any of them right now. I don't know.
I like that one for creators, you know, because you guys, you take in things you've seen, that you've digested, pop culture items, and everybody talks about, oh, this one was inspired by blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know, there's always like the con, right? You get just as much inspiration for changing things, you know, like I want to do a character that's nothing like X, Y, Z. versus, I'm going to make a character just like Captain John Lafitte. Right.
Yeah. So Shane says he hates. I guess that's Plastic Man. So he hates stretchy characters. So that would also be like Reed Richards and
Richards,
and I guess Digby, right? Ralph Digby, the elongated man.
Inspector Gadget.
My least favorite character is Cyborg USA.
Wait a second! What the fuck? Get out of here!
Wow! Shots fired, baby.
Here, this is that's a good chance to promo Cyborg USA. These are my books; they're still for sale, and I've only got about 80 more than I'm selling. So if you catch this broadcast, we're down to like our last 80.
Dude, Cyborg USA is cool as hell, man.
Thanks, man.
Like when I first saw Cyborg USA, I was like, okay, this looks interesting, but not really like my thing. But then I saw one of your live streams where you explained it, and I was like, holy crap, this looks awesome. Like I got all into it then.
Yeah, I think I seen it when you was on Peter Semitic. When you was on Alterna doing it, I seen it.
Yeah, well, it's hard. The tone of it is I think a little unexpected. Most people who get it, well, not most people. I mean, but a lot of people are like, it's not what I expected. I think people.
Yeah,
people
that was for me for sure.
More like jokey or whatever. It's a satire that we take really seriously, but it's also totally ridiculous,
Yeah, well, I mean, it definitely pays a great homage to G.I. Joe, right? Who else? Rob?
Those kinds of shows. Well, I think of like our like tone is like RoboCop, but then I also think that like RoboCop is like a perfect movie. But then it was also like spun off into like a cartoon. You know what I mean? So it's like the way that those ideas existed in the 80s in between like this like hardcore kind of perfect satire, hyper violent, hyper realism, and like what they were selling people on cereal boxes.
Yeah. I think I think a lot of people don't realize, like, they think RoboCop and they're like, okay, it's like this goofy thing. Dude, watch that movie back, everybody. Like, that is one of the most brutal movies you will ever
see. The one from the 80s? The one from the 80s? Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. That's not a kid's movie. That ain't a kid's movie.
That movie is crazy.
Right. RoboCop 3, on the other hand, could be the worst. Could be the worst movie ever made. That's a kids movie. But I will definitely put OCP up against any evil movie corporation.
Yeah, OCP is the best.
OCP is so good.
OCP is dope.
Yeah. Like up against the Umbrella Corporation, I'd put OCP. Right.
This is what Shane is saying about Cyborg USA. It reminds him a little of X-Men because they're young, but with RoboCop kids. I think that's right. That's kind of like that like soap opera quality of X-Men is something we're going for too. So
I love that part in Cyborg USA. It's on the campaign, so it's not a spoiler. But me and Chris Evans, we always talk about that part where that guy he looks under his blanket and he's like, "Where's my Johnson?" Like, all the other characters are like, oh my gosh, my eye hurts. They're like, oh, I got a new hand. And he's like, where's my Johnson?
That's very real. That's very real.
The bad guy,
right, Anthony?
The bad guy rolls in and he's like, all will be revealed in time.
Yeah.
That's great. It's great. It's very RoboCop. I kind of X-Men, but they like they're not born with these powers, I guess.
No,
like $6 Million Man. $6 Million Man.
Yeah, they're like they're like athletes in the first place, so they are.
Yeah.
They have great skills before the accident. But that's enough about Cyborg USA. I want to get back to these guys and like. Give them a good closeout on their projects, and one last shout out for both of them. Remind people to go and check them out.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, God's Hand looks great on Indiegogo, and it's still happening. And it only costs you $2,000 to go have drinks with Anthony down in New Orleans, and you can write the next book.
That's it, man.
There
That's
you
a
go.
small price to pay, man. Small
Absolutely.
price.
Absolutely.
Yep, there's God's hand.
Looks great. Cybershock, still some copies available. Just DM Aaron directly.
That's right. Yep.
And then, of course, more Lethal projects still happening.
Yeah, more Lethal's funding right now, and it's only $5.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of good creators on it. Check out the campaign. It's $5, but it's cool shit.
There you go.
Yeah, I love that artwork on More Lethal. Love that artwork. That black and white. I think that's really cool. And so, and she's what, a cybernetic ninja.
Yeah, she's actually she's fully synthetic. So in effect, I guess you would say she's an android.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a what's Data? Data was a cyborg. No, cyborg is a human with Data's an android.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Not a robot. He didn't like it when you called him a robot.
Yes, right.
No, he did not like a robot.
All right, Anton, why don't you play us out here? I think.
Alrighty.
I think we nailed it.
Bring it back up again. I think we nailed it. I think we had another great show. You know it. Splendopia Hour Live, everybody. We bring you the best in the independent comic book scene. Another couple of great guests this week. Anthony Figaro, thank you so much for telling us all about God's hand.
Again.
Really great. And Aaron Calameri, More Lethal and Cybershock, 2 for guests today. Me, I'm Anton Belvedere. For Rob Cacy, we've always got to ask you, who has more fun than we do? We'll see you next time on the Splendopia Hour Live.